Are there some hidden stories in your jelly prints that you may not know about? Well, that's what we're going to talk today when we talk about colors that are within our jelly prints and what stories do they tell us. I've often spent these last few weeks talking about talking to my art. And so we're going to dive just a little bit deeper into some of the stories that my jelly prints or your jelly prints may say and the hidden stories behind them. Good morning, my pop art. I'm glad you are here. I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed your watercolor pieces and I hope you keep posting more because those are so fun to look at and they're so bright and cheery. Good morning, Christina. How are you? So definitely want to see your doodles in the community, Christina, if you care to share them. But Pop Art, go check out her art. She shared them in the community. So anyway, as I was saying, we are going to dive into colors behind our jelly prints and what kind of stories they may tell us that we don't realize that we don't realize the stories that are hidden behind them. It could be your emotions or um maybe something in your subconscious, but we'll talk about that today. And so, with that, for those of you who are just joining me, thank you for getting up so early and joining me. And those who catching me on my replay, I appreciate that. So, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel so you'll know when I go live every morning. And let's go do some art. So, let's see here. Okay. So yesterday we looked at these things. Now you can go on to Google and you can type in what do colors mean, and so some of the definitions of color. Sorry, some definitions of color um, that I've noticed in a lot of the art that I've done in the last 2 weeks is yellow. And I think you've noticed that with me as well. Not sure on the reason why the yellow and I connected. Maybe it's, um, sorry, maybe it's because there's optimism in the art that I'm creating for the next 100 days, but every one of these pieces, and I'll just go back through a few of them, has the color yellow in it. Like in some form or fashion. So I thought that that was interesting. Um, that every few pieces that we've done, I don't think that there is not even one piece where there's not a yellow. So I thought that did not realize that these pieces were um, really speaking out to me. That I was hopeful and I had a lot of optimism um, and happiness which goes right in line with the whole journey that I'm on and that I'm taking you along with me. But now the other thing that yellow signifies is energy, and I just have to say today is not one of those days where I have a lot of energy. Yesterday I struggled. Today I seem to be not running late, but not as as hurry up and get there that I often feel when I get to these lives, and getting ready for these lives. I roll out of bed and I really feel like that right now. Like I just rolled out of bed. Most of the time I roll out of bed about, 10 to 15 minutes before I have to go live. And today it just, while I still woke up 10 to 15 minutes, it just seems like I am slowly getting there, if that makes sense. So when you look at your art, like pop art, I saw your art, and what really stuck out to me was the red. And maybe go back and look at some of the art that you shared. Now that's what stood out to me. That doesn't mean that that's what stood out to you, but when I what I recall from looking at your art last night, The red really stood out to me, and if you go back and look at that, are your little watercolor paintings talking about energy or love or passion? Um, so, just go back and look at those for a minute. And I'm just talking about the ones you shared. Those are the ones that really stood out to me is the color red. Now, that doesn't mean that when you created that popped out to you. I mean that was trying to be what you displayed. However, also art is in the eye of the beholder, right? So it's all subjective. So what I may have seen as a story behind your art may not have been the story you were portraying, right? So um just letting you know that that's how I resonated with your art was passion and energy. So okay. So these are the two that I just had to put that little piece on there for yesterday, but these are the two little pieces that we created. I just felt like something needed to go there. And then this is that one piece where I took the Posca markers to it and kind of shaded with the Posca markers. And I also took some distress crayon. So let's talk about this one for a minute. Um, you know, there's purple in here, there's orange, and blue is the main color. And that's more like um, maybe I was feeling some trust and calmness or wisdom when I chose this for this canvas board. But you also have the yellow that we talked about, the purple. So go on Google, look up what the different color meanings are. Uh, they also mean different things to different cultures. So I found it very interesting. Um, on the colors that I chose. Like the two main colors here, pink, like uh playfulness, tranquility, that's what the pink could represent. And the purple is more like royalty, creativity, spirit not spirit, yeah, spirit out. I can't even talk today. Spirit out. I can't. I'm done. Um, can't say that word. Any case, you get what I'm trying to say. Playful and creativity, that may spark that emotion when someone's looking at my artwork, but also what do I see in here? And I would agree that the pink and the purple is playful and creativity. For this one, maybe calmness. If I'm looking at the blue, what does it say to me? You know, um, Stability, maybe, and the reason why I say that is because this big piece, the focal point of this, really anchors the piece with the blue, and so I could see where stability may come into play. So anyway, yep, yep. So, uh, you have a lot of redheads in your families or gingers in your family. Passion and energy for your own and my students at work. Yeah, totally. I totally get that. So, it just really think about your art when you're creating. What is your mood? Like what colors are you using at the time, and what is your mood that goes along with them? And what does your artwork say about you? Right. So, um, today when I was looking for my next few pieces, I was I was going, I might need to add some orange or some other colors. And I know I just got to find my papers because, well, that's what I do. Or some other colors into my pieces. And so I was looking at these. Now the blue we've used before, but I was really looking at this light yellow and this light blue, and um, and it's got some gold in it. I also have this piece here with some blue and orange, and then some blue and purple, and then one weekend we got together and we did chili printing on one of the lives, and I used Sharpie markers here. So I was thinking, well, maybe I need some black in here, in my artwork, right? And so, funny enough, apparently black symbolizes power, sophistication, mystery, and mourning. And I had Googled it, so that's what I'm looking at. But then I was like, no, I mean, I was really looking at that this morning and I was like, I need some black in my artwork, but I don't know if I'm feeling it today. And I was really drawn to this one and the lightness of the colors, which is not something that we typically have in the little canvases that we've been creating. And then I kept thinking about the orange, and like the orange is more energy, enthusiasm, warmth, and creativity. And I can tell you right now, there's no energy here. So I don't know if I'm feeling it. But let's go with this one and let's try to go with the orange with the black. So that's what I'm gonna use today. But yeah, the energy is just not there. It's yeah. If we, if we go back to my temperature quilt I would that I talked about yesterday, yeah, this wouldn't be like one of those blue days. I don't know. I don't even know if it'd be a blue day. I just don't even know if I have energy, but I don't I don't know. I just seem to be like late today. Like in my mind, I feel like I'm late, So um I find it interesting, like my different moods when I wake up and how I show up for the lives. It's all been kind of new to me. Like, have you really checked in with yourself and go, how am I feeling today? Or do you just take it for granted? Right. And so I noticed that with my 100 days of lives is really checking in with myself going, how do I feel today? And today is one of those um, no energy days. I have energy sometimes and I'm still struggling. But today is a really low day. So, anyway, I'm just more surprised by that than anything else, I think. Let's see, is that really what I want? Yeah, that'll work. Okay. I don't think this one really matters to me. Oh, check this out, my pop art. Mathematical models. You see that? First semester. Uh, I don't know what that says on there, but first semester objective 1 through 10. And it's got like this triangle. Don't know if you noticed that. So with that, we're just going to, like I told you, I use my son's homework pages for jelly printing on. And I just love, I don't know if that's his or if that was because we come from a family of teachers. I don't know if that's his or someone else in the family, old textbooks or whatever. So, in any case, that's just thought I'd point that out. Shapes also represent different different things in your art as well. So, maybe we'll explore that one of these mornings. But when you're creating art today, boy, I'm talkative for being no energy. But when you're creating your art today, think about what colors are you using and try to see what connects with you as far as uh, your mood or the story that your body is telling you as you are creating the art. What colors are you drawn to today? Um, that I find that. Oh, Sherry, I thought I had this down. Um, okay, words are hard right now. I don't even know what I was saying. I got distracted because I wasn't doing the thing. But what colors are you drawn to today, and what is your art saying about your mood? And see if you can connect your mind, your feelings with your art, and are the colors that you are using today, are those really how you feel? Or try that experiment. I'm curious. Um I looked at this orange. I looked at this orange. I'm like, you know what? I need more orange in my artwork. So wasn't really that I was trying to connect with it. I was just looking at, all the canvases and saying, hey, what do I need next? But so the orange and I probably aren't really connecting with each other. So that might make this piece of artwork a little harder than normal, but we'll find out. Depends on if I can, connect with myself while we're on this live and see what it has to say. Now, definitely was drawn to the blue and the yellow and the lightness of the colors, which, tones also have, could mean certain things as well. The value of the color could mean certain things as well in the overall piece. So, using all these tools that we've been talking about, composition and color and things like that, over the last few weeks, really, not only are the art fundamentals right, and when you're creating art, but what does it say about your art that you're creating at that time? So, okay, sorry, missed a few things. I have a lot of algebraic, I cannot talk, linear equations on math scratch papers. I'm definitely going to jelly print on them. Today I'm going to try my new tiny jelly print, jelly thingy. Cool. Well, let me know, my pop art, if you need any assistance. I wouldn't mind hopping on a call with you and answering any of your questions. But as you work through it today, because I have my 9 to 5 job, so I won't be able to do that for you today. But on Saturday, as you're jelly printing, on Saturday, we have a live Q&A call with me. So, and you're part of the community. So I have to set that up and I'll send you the link. I'll post it in the community. And so if you have come across any questions, I definitely would be interested in hearing, maybe what you've tried and what hasn't worked for you. So a few wrinkles in here, but that's okay. We'll get past it. All right. So don't forget to join me live at 10 a.m. Central Time for the live Q&A call. And if anybody watching this replay, I know that Christina and my pop art are definitely part of my community. So if anybody else wants to join that live call, please go join my community. The link is below in the description. So that is coming up. I'm pretty excited about that call. I'm excited to hear the adventures that everybody's been on. So all right. And Christina says you've been obsessed with the combination of green, pink, orange lately. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So, um, curious. Yeah, I'm curious to learning more about that. So green, nature, growth, harmony, and peace is what the Google says, and money and prosperity. And pink is more the femininity, love, playfulness, and tranquility. And the orange, I think I've said before, energy, enthusiasm, warmth, and creativity. So be interested to see what your thoughts are on those. Did any of that resonate with what maybe you were feeling at the time? So yeah, the color combination, I know it's kind of weird, is I really like the pink and the orange. And I like to add blue to it. I just have always liked those color combinations. It sounds kind of weird, but blue and orange obviously are complementary colors. And um, pink is, a derivative of red and white, right? So when you mix those two colors together, you get pink. But so it doesn't surprise me that some of that, they go together. But and it's not just like blue, it's more like a turquoise blue that I tend to be drawn to with my with my pinks and oranges. So, okay. Now that we got these laying flat, almost flat. Oh, wow. Today has gone by really, really fast. Okay. So let's start. These are like totally, look at the difference, right? Really bold and bright in your face, which I'm just not feeling as far as like energy. And the more calm and serene and just this blue and yellow. And that's more of what I'm feeling. Maybe not calm and serene, but like in a low energy, high energy, right? So I'm really feeling over here today. Um, so I just I thought that was interesting. Okay. Let's start with the fun stuff here. I kind of like the. Let's see where we can go with this. There was. Oh, here, this ought to be fun. Let's see where this takes us. I'm not sure if I'm liking the hard edges. Maybe more organic. Not sure. We'll just let that sit there. Marinate, as I would say. Like this orange. Not sure if I like the things together. I like them varying in sizes. And oh no, it's not going to be that today. So I know there's some stuff in here. We just got to find it. That's why I don't put a lot in here. What does this? Let's see what this does. A spring pond in a hot summer evening. That's what they give off to me. Oh, your art? Oh, you're talking about this here. A spring pond in a hot summer evening. Yeah, okay. I can see that. Most definitely. I can see that. Hot summer day. Yeah, I hope today is not going to be one of those hot days, but where I am, we are definitely doing a lot of we're in the 80s and the 90s. So, and it's probably going to be a hot summer. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. So I'm not sure how far we'll get today. We're just starting, so we'll continue it to tomorrow, obviously, because I will not get to play in my art studio until this evening. And then I have to do some things for the kid. So in my art studio, he's wanting to be like class president. So he's in his campaign season. So I got to help him out and do a few things for him. I never thought he would have wanted to be class president, but here we are, killing it. So I am in I'm in Texas, Christina. So that's where we're already getting hot down here in Texas. So I'm in the South. Okay. So that's where we're getting to today. Just still playing around with colors, seeing where my mood is taking me, which is not taking me very far, as you can see. Things are running late today. So that's how, yeah, thank you, my pop art. Yeah, so keep your fingers crossed. But, as I've always said, you got to try something. If you don't try it, it's an automatic no. So I practice what I preach in that world, and so it doesn't surprise me that he's trying to run for class president, and he's gonna try it, and he's okay if he doesn't make it. At least he tried, and so he knows that. I've heard those words back at me, so I know that they're cementing seeds into his little body there. So, anyway, so let's just wrap it up today. So today we explored color in your mood and what kind of colors, when you're creating your art, what kind of colors are you using? What kind of mood are you feeling when you're creating that art? If you are just coming home from your 9 to 5 job and you are using certain colors, what does that say about you and your connection to the art? And how are you feeling? Are you really stressed? And so therefore you may be using some of those colors into your artwork? Or are you more like, I had a good day, so I'm going to use some yellow in my artwork. I am optimistic and those kinds of things. So really think about um no matter even if you're to me, working from home or working in the home is a job, okay? So, doesn't matter what you're doing today. Whenever you're done with your quote job, your 9 to 5 job, your work from home job, your whatever job, um connect with your art and see how the mood of you is displayed within your art. And with that, I hope you guys have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Community, join the community because in March 29th, we're going to have our one-on-one calls with me where I can answer all your jelly printing questions that you may have. And I am interested in finding out what are some of your wins and things that you're working on. So it's going to be a great time. So make sure you go join my community so you can be invited to that call. And with that, have a great day. Thank you for watching Ratchet Up Your Art.